Hello everybody and welcome to a special outdoor unboxing. Here we have the NG models Air Tahiti Nui 737-800, and this model I got just for looks. Love the livery on this thing, one of my favorites, if not my favorite, in the world. So this is NG models new release of the Air Tahiti Nui 7879 Dreamliner. I don't know where I got 737 from, but yeah, so we have the box here, which is a very clever design based on, of course, the livery of the aircraft here, which you can see there. But NG Models always knocks it out of the park with their boxes. I say that every time, but it is because it is so true. And this one is no exception here. This model I have been waiting for a while here, and I'm so happy to finally have it. I've been wanting to get an Air Tahiti Nui model for a long time because I just think their livery is spectacular, and so glad to have gotten it here. NG Models already did a release of the Air Tahiti Nui 7879, and this is a re-release of that one, but I'm happy that they did it because that means that I can get my hands on it, because the other one was sold out for a long time. But we will get to the box open now. The first thing in here is the collector's card, which was bent, but that's not a big deal. I mean, the code will still work there, and this one is worth more value. All of my previous NG models with collector cards have been narrow bodies. I have not gotten an NG wide body in a long time. All of my NG wide bodies that I had previously came before the collector card thing, so this will be the first one. But I don't know, I think it's like 14 or 15 points, while the narrow bodies are all 10. But I can check that out later. We'll see what NG does with the collector points, because they're promising that they'll do something soon. They haven't really done anything. So we'll get the model out of the plastic cradle. So here she is, the Air Tahiti Nui 7879. I mean, that is just looking great in the sun here. Beautiful day out today. I don't really have any pencil or anything with me out here, but we can just do our little review here. So we have our cockpit windows up here. Also, like, the top of the aircraft is all in this nice blue color. Not quite sky blue, not quite like royal blue. A bit lighter than royal blue, whatever you want to call that. We have the Tahitian flag there, and the name of the aircraft, which I believe is a city or something in, or at least a landmark in Tahiti. And I think that, I can't quite see it very well, but it's Whakarva. I hope that I pronounced that correct, and I hope that is what it actually says, but it's something like that. We have our L1 boarding door here, and also the L2. I guess they can both be used as boarding doors for the 7879. Here we have the Air Tahiti Nui billboard titles, and also this kind of these double red cheat lines down here, which mimic the flag of Tahiti, which is very nice. That was not on the older livery on the A340s. The A340s just had the blue, and also the back was different. I don't have a model to compare it to, but if you look at the images, they are different. Moving to the midsection of the aircraft, here we have an antenna right there. We have our SATCOM dome. Here is our beautiful wing right here with the engine, with the chevrons in the back, of course. So nice gust of wind blowing by. Here are the landing gear, which do not tilt on the NG models, which is a bit of a disappointment, but not too big of a deal, since this is probably just going to be sitting on the ground most of the time anyways. We also have a stand hole on the bottom of the aircraft. There's nothing really too big on the bottom of the aircraft, except just some minor details, and the antenna on the back there. Not too detailed there on the bottom, but that is realistic to the Air Tahiti Nui livery. They don't put any logos on the belly or anything like that. Now this is the very interesting part of livery. If I can move it. Landing gear is kind of getting stuck in the grooves here on the table, but all these cool designs here on the back. Of course, Air Tahiti Nui is they always have a floral theme, which is very nice to see, and that's been incorporated very well in this aircraft. On the A340s, they did have a design towards the back, but it was really just a bunch of lines. And this one they definitely went all out with the design, which, I mean, you'll love to see it. I'm not really sure what all the symbols mean, but they look spectacular on this one, and especially in this beautiful kind of coral blue color, it looks spectacular on this aircraft, and that is why I love this livery so much. So towards the back here we have the Tahitian flag again, and then the registration Foxtrot Oscar Mike Uniform Alpha, and then we have the Dreamliner down there, and here we have, moving into the tail, of course it gets a little bit more floral once again back here, of course with the flower, which I assume that is, looks like a flower, in white, and then the lines going around like that. That was also on the A340s that they had, but they just kind of emanated that through the fuselage as well. With this time it's just really on the empennage of the aircraft, but it looks spectacular as always. Also back here we have the details for the APU, and then we also have our horizontal stabilizers, of course. And yeah, just an all-around spectacular model right here. Of course, great detail with the NG models on their 787s. They do a good job with the 787 mold, as they do with all their molds. But this is a great one, great model to have, great livery. As you lose the sun, but that's okay, since we had it before. I mean, this is just an all-around fantastic livery by NG models. Spectacular job on this one, and I'm very glad to have it in the collection. I'll probably use it at fictional airport updates, but probably nothing else, because in terms of the U.S. airports, this only flies to LAX, I believe. Maybe, and I guess I think they're going to be starting Seattle up. Maybe they already have. But really only LAX and Seattle. Then they also fly to Auckland and I think some other destinations in the Pacific. But there are only 4 of these in the Air Tahiti Nui fleet. This being one of them, and they're, I mean, the other ones take other names, I assume, but they are gorgeous aircraft. I miss the A340s that they had. Those were retired, I believe, in 2020 or 2021, so they've had them for a long time, so which is surprising because a lot of A340s have, of course, been retired now, and Lufthansa retiring theirs. They're one of the last big airlines to operate them. There are a few other airlines that operate them, but with Lufthansa going, they'll be the beginning of the end for the A340. Well, they've already begun. The A340 already is on the beginning of the end. That's been established many years ago. But Edelweiss still flies them. I believe Camair still flies them, and maybe some other ones. Maybe Sri Lankan Airlines still flies. I'm not sure about if they still fly them, because I think they have some newer aircraft now anyway, so they may have retired them by now. But yeah, missed the A340s, but the 787s definitely have a nice spot. And then maybe I'll get an Air Tahiti Nui A340 at some point in the future, just because it is a gorgeous aircraft. But for now, I am very happy with the 7879 here by NG Models. So that'll do it for our review here of the Air Tahiti Nui 7879. And yes, thank you all for checking this one out. I will see you tomorrow, and as always, good night. Auf Wiedersehen.